E aí, jovens, firmeza? Começando aqui mais um Skyrim, a Saga de EJSpawn. Eu sou EJSpawn e vamos para mais uma aventura. No último capítulo, eu mostrei pra vocês sobre o boss secreto, o ceifador, que tem aqui em Soul Carne. Chefe que eu não sabia até 2 capítulos atrás, acabei descobrindo meio que sem querer. E resolvi mostrar pra vocês como eu encontrei ele, o que precisava, tudo mais, né? Depois de ter dado uma pesquisada na internet também pra ter certeza. Um monte de as pessoas que estão aqui vieram pra cá na época do Vídeo, né? Do Vídeo. Da hora. Nesse capítulo a gente já vai continuar a quest principal, que eu tenho que ir naquela direção ali. Mas eu acabei encontrando uma estrutura aqui que eu não tinha visto, explorado ainda.
My ship. What happened to my ship? Where am I?
Bom, temos mais um. Deixa eu abrir aqui logo. Minha voz. Perdão a voz. Acho que eu abri uma parte das barras. Maravilha. Tô procurando pra ver se não tem nenhum outro lugar pra eu atirar. Pra abrir aquele local ali que eu tava. Eu tenho certeza que eu acertei. Lugarzinho misterioso. Tô dando uma olhada de volta também pra ver se não tem nenhum lugar pra transportar. Não tem nada pra ativar mais ali. Não tem nenhum lugar pra me teletransportar ali pra cima também. Meu intuito não era perder muito tempo com isso aqui não, mas... Opa, isso aqui eu não tinha visto. Conjurar homem osso. Maravilha, encontrei mais... Agora eu acho que eu já consegui todas as invocações. Nossa, dei muita sorte agora. Depois daqui eu já ia embora, nem sabe, pra mim nem tinha mais. Ah, o Homem-Osso eu já tenho. Opa. 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 Viu alguma coisa ali? Nossa, eu não cheguei aqui perto. Maravilha. A alma foi sugada. Maravilha. Nossa. Certeza depois que eu sair desse mundo aqui eu vou conseguir fazer o achievement de ficar com 100 mil de dinheiro. Tô pegando muita coisa cara. Mas é isso aí, gente. Vamos continuar. Agora se eu considero que eu explorei bem aqui. Aqui eu já tinha visto. Cadê a doida? Maravilha.
Mother?
Mãe?
Mother!
Mãe?
It can't be. Serana? Is it really you? I can't believe it.
Serana, what are you doing here? Where's your father?
He doesn't know we're here. I don't have time to explain.
I must have failed. Harkon's found a way to decipher the prophecy, hasn't he?
No, you've got it all wrong. We're here to complete the prophecy our way, not his.
Wait a moment. You've brought a stranger here? Have you lost your mind?
No, you don't...
You, come forward. I would speak with you. So how has it come to pass that a vampire of mixed blood is in the company of my daughter?
Caralho, tá puta. Eu a tenho mantido a salvo. Eu salvei ela do seu plano estúpido. Tô aqui apenas pelo manuscrito antigo. Vou falar que eu tenho mantido a salvo, né? Não vou chamar ela, falar que o plano dela era estúpido, né? Apesar que manter a filha presa durante 200 anos eu acho é um plano bem estúpido, né?
Safe? You call bringing her here safe? Has she explained nothing to you? Serana has sacrificed everything to prevent Harkon from completing the prophecy. I would have expected her to explain that to you.
Por isso estou aqui, pelo manuscrito antigo.
You think I'd have the audacity to place my own daughter in that tomb for the protection of her Elder Scroll alone? The scrolls are merely a means to an end. The key to the tyranny of the sun is Serana herself.
Opa! Você não sabia. O que você quer dizer?
When I fled Castle Volkahar, I fled with 2 Elder Scrolls. The scroll I presume you found with Serana speaks of Ariel and his arcane weapon, Ariel's bow. The second scroll declares that the blood of Cold Harbor's daughter will blind the eye of the dragon.
Onde Serana entra?
Like myself, Serana was a human once. We were devout followers of Lord Molig Bal. Tradition dictates the females be offered to Molig Bal on his summoning day. Few survive the ordeal. Those that do emerge as a pure-blooded vampire. We call such confluences the Daughters of Cold Harbor.
Cold Harbor?
It's what some call the domain of Molig Ball. His place in oblivion.
Tirana do Sol quer o sangue da Serena. Serena passou por esse ritual de bom grado.
It was expected of her, just as it was expected of me. Being selected as an offering to Molig Ball is an honor. She wouldn't have dared turn her back on that.
Tirana do Sol quer o sangue de Serena.
Now you're beginning to see why I wanted to protect Serana, and why I've kept the other Elder Scroll as far from her as possible.
Você está dizendo que Harkon quer matá-la?
If Harkon obtained Auriel's bow, and Serana's blood was used to taint the weapon, the tyranny of the sun would be complete. In his eyes, she'd be dying for the good of all vampires.
Nunca deixaria que isso
And how
acontecesse.
exactly do you plan on completing the prophecy without the death of my daughter?
Eu matarei Harkon. Eu matarei Harkon.
If you believe that, then you're a bigger fool than I originally suspected. Don't you think I weighed that option before I enacted my plans?
Qual a opinião de Serena sobre isso?
You care nothing for Serana, or our plight. You see the tyranny of the sun as your chance at deification. And like Harkon, you won't hesitate to destroy anything that stands in your path.
Serena acredita em mim. Por que você não?
Serana? This stranger may call himself a vampire, but he knows nothing of our struggle. Why should I entrust you to him?
This stranger has done more for me in the brief time I've known him than you've done in centuries.
How dare you? I gave up everything I cared about to protect you from that fanatic you call a father.
Yes, he's a fanatic. He's changed. But he's still my father. Why can't you understand how that makes me feel?
So, if you'd only open your eyes. The moment your father discovers your role in the prophecy, that he needs your blood, you'll be in terrible danger.
So to protect me, you decided to shut me away from everything I cared about. You never asked me if hiding me in that tomb was the best course of action. You just expected me to follow you blindly. Both of you were obsessed with your own paths. Your motivations might have been different, but in the end, I'm still just a pawn to you too. I want us to be a family again. But I don't know if we can ever have that. Maybe we don't deserve that kind of happiness. Maybe it isn't for us. But we have to stop him before he goes too far. And to do that, we need the Elder Scroll.
I'm sorry, Serana. I didn't know. I didn't see. I've allowed my hatred of your father to estrange us for too long. Forgive me. If you want the Elder Scroll, it's yours. Your intentions are still somewhat unclear to me. But for Serana's sake, I'll assist you in any way that I can.
Você tá com o manuscrito antigo?
Yes. I've kept it safely secured here ever since I was imprisoned. Fortunately, you seem to have already killed the keepers maintaining the barrier around these ruins.
Ah, então os guardiões que eu matei era pra isso. Muito bom. Muito bom, muito bom. Isso significa que você já pode nos levar até ele?
Yes. Please, follow me. One more word of warning. There's a dragon that calls itself Durnavir roaming the cairn. The Ideal Masters have charged him with overseeing the Keepers, and will undoubtedly investigate the fact that the barrier has fallen.
Maravilha. Eu vou enfrentar um dragão.
The this place, the better. I'm glad you're here. I don't think I could be doing this alone.
Como está se sentindo depois de falar com sua mãe?
Relieved, I think. All those things had been building for a while. You have no idea how long I wanted to say that to her.
Porque você nunca concordaria com o plano dela.
Look, I loved my father, but when he found that prophecy, that became his life. Everything else, even me and my mother, we just became clutter. I was close with my mother, but she just kept feeding me her opinions of him, and eventually I started believing them.
Ela não parecia muito afeiçoada a ele.
The moment we gave ourselves to Molig Ball, things got really icy between them. They were both drunk with power, and pulling in different directions. And then he found that prophecy, and that was it.
E você estava no
I
meio.
was. Honestly, it took me up until now to figure out that my mother was really just as bad as he was. He was obsessed with power. She was obsessed with seeing him fail. It was just so toxic. Maybe I could have seen this coming. We could all be better off now.
Você não deve culpar a si mesmo.
You don't know what it's like, coming from a family like that. Everything eventually tumbles down to you. Anyway, we should keep moving.
Maravilha. Sangue mortal. Como eu já li esse livro, eu não vou pegar muito. Vamos lá. Cemitério. Aquela salvadinha, né?
I hear something.
He's here. Defend.
Where'd you come from?
Peraí.
The Elder Scroll is just a bit further.
Queria falar com ela antes de lutar com ele. Nossa, olha a cara dela, que bonita, hein? Que bonita. Como você foi preso aqui?
When I entered the Soul Cave, I had intended to strike a bargain with the Ideal Masters, the custodians of this place.
Qual foi o negócio?
I requested refuge in the Soul Cave, and in exchange, I would provide the Ideal Masters the souls that they crave. If I had foreseen the value they placed on my own soul, I would never have come here.
Eles a enganaram.
The Ideal Masters unleashed their keepers and sent them to destroy me. Fortunately, I was able to hold them at bay and retreat into these ruins.
Você ficou presa.
Unfortunately, yes. Since the keepers weren't able to claim my soul, they had their minions construct a barrier I would never be able to breach.
Você esteve aprisionada aqui por todo esse tempo?
Time has very little meaning to me. Consequently, it has little meaning to the Ideal Masters as well. I suppose you could call this the ultimate waiting game, each watching the other to see which will give in.
Quem são os mestres
I know
ideais?
very little about them. They're mystic entities that lord over the soul cairn, controlling every aspect from its fabric to its appearance.
Aqui se
While
assemelham.
some necromancers believe they are the crystalline structures dotting the soul cairn, I believe there's more to it than that.
Como
I
assim?
think they transcend what we perceive as a physical form. Perhaps they were once corporeal beings, but they've obviously reached a point where they no longer require a tangible presence.
Os cristais.
Conduits, through which the Ideal Masters speak to their underlings and feed on their victims.
Que eles necessitam de sustento.
The Ideal Masters' weakness is their insatiable hunger for pure souls. It's the reason for the Soul Cairn's existence, and the only leverage a necromancer has when bargaining.
Que os mestres oferecem em troca.
The ability to summon powerful undead guardians, as one would conjure an Atronak or Daedra. However, the majority of necromancers that are foolish enough to enter into a bargain with the Ideal Masters wind up here as harvested souls.
que você não segue a profecia?
Harkon's vision is a world plunged in eternal darkness, where a vampire can flourish, and never again fear the tyranny of the sun. What he fails to realize is how much attention would be called to our kind if the prophecy came to fruition.
Que tipo de atenção?
Eternal night fell. There are many who wouldn't stand for it. They would raise armies in attempts to return things to normal. The order of the day would be our destruction, until every last vampire was hunted down.
Então você prefere viver nas sombras?
I do. It's how the vampires survived for millennia, and the only way we can continue to survive in the future.
Se eu deixar o túmulo das alvas, posso retornar com
As
segurança?
you've been traveling in the soul cairn, your body has become attuned to it. Let's just say a tiny part of you rubbed off on it, and in its place, a bit of the soul cairn filled the void. You should find no difficulty using the portal any longer.
Interessante, interessante. Pessoal, vamos ficando por aqui. O próximo capítulo vai ter uma luta contra o dragão, pelo que entendi, um dragão que ele protege o Elder Scroll que está escondido aqui.
Follow me instead.
Eu espero que vocês tenham gostado. Se curtiram o vídeo e não estão inscritos no canal, se inscreva, curta nossa página no Facebook e nos siga no Twitter. Até mais, valeu e abraço.